Hi all. I hope you all are doing well and staying safe and healthy. I would like to thank all for watching my videos. In this video we are going to know about central tendency, which is helpful in almost all fields and at all levels of our education. I hope you enjoy. Since it is little lengthy, I made it into two parts. Sincere request is to watch both the parts of this concept. Let's get into the stats cosmos. In this video, we are going to know about what is central tendency, why it is required, and measures of central tendency. First of all, what is central tendency? Central tendency is a statistical measure that determines a single value that attempts to describe a set of data by identifying the position within that set of data. That is, central tendency tries to describe how the data cluster together around a central point. It is useful for making comparisons between groups of individuals or between sets of figures. It reduces a large number of measurements to a single figure and thus makes comparisons easier. Why it is required? Central tendency is very important for initial data analysis to find representative score of group, which is an indirect description of population and helpful in comparison of performance of two groups. For understanding this, let me give a small example for you. If a student has been asked to tell his final scores he achieved, then it is easy to say average score instead the scores he got in each subject, right? The idea behind this is central tendency. Measures of central tendency. There are three measures: mean, median, mode. First of all, mean. Mean is the average of a group of measures or average of a distribution of scores. Let me give a few examples where we use mean in our daily life. It helps teachers to see the average marks of the students, or sometimes we may have to calculate the average speed of anything, or to calculate the average number of patients on daily basis. We can also find the average height of students in a class. In these cases, we use mean. Next, we have median. Median is the middlemost value in any ordered sequence of data. For this, examples are, it is used to measure the distribution of the earnings. It is used to find the player's height. For example, you can take football players. To find the middle age from the class students, or also to find the poverty line, we use median. Next, mode. The score in the distribution that occurs most frequently. Examples are to find which mobile network is used most, or to find which medium of transport is used by public more. In these cases, we use mode. Now let us see what are the types of means. There are 5 types here: arithmetic mean, geometric mean, harmonic mean. Under this again we have weighted mean and combined means. First of all, we'll try to know what is arithmetic mean? What are the formulas for that and simple examples? Here, data will be given in 3 forms. One is individual series, discrete series, or continuous series. So what are these 3 series? And how to find out the arithmetic mean in these 3 different series, and what are the methods to find out that AM value? We are going to discuss now. So here are the formulas given for individual series in 3 methods: direct method, assumed mean method, and step deviation method. First of all, before going to that, you have to know what is individual series. Individual series is very simple. For suppose if you are recording marks of the students without any arrangement, the ungrouped data which you have collected is individual series. Here I am going to explain these 3 methods with the help of one example. Let me take you to that example. Okay, here is the data. Observations you can see here: 30, 16, 20, 26, 18, 24, 36 and 18. These are the observations given. 8 observations are given to you. First of all, in direct method, how to find out arithmetic mean? It is very simple. First of all, add all the observations given for you, which gives you sigma x. So this sigma symbol, we call it as summation in statistics. Summation x is equal to 188. And how many observations are given in the data, which is denoted with n. So if you find out the ratio of sum to this number of observations, then we'll get arithmetic mean in direct method. Here you can observe first method, direct method, we got the value as 23.5 after finding out the ratio of sum of the observations to the number of observations. Next we have shortcut method or assumed mean method. We can also call it as assumed mean method. Here in this method, first we have to find out a value. What is a again? Assumed mean. We are going to assume one value from the data as a, and we have to find out this dx value. What is the formula for dx? Is capital X minus a or x minus a simply. Observations we have to subtract from a value, capital A value. So here we consider 26 as capital A. So 30 minus 26, if you find out, you'll get 4. And second value 16 minus 26, which gives you minus 10, and so on. In this way, first you are supposed to find out all the dx values for every observation and then add all that dx values. Here they got the total as minus 20. Now let us apply this into our formula. What is the formula for shortcut method for finding out arithmetic mean? Is x bar is equal to a plus summation dx by n. A is 26, which we have considered, plus here what is the total we got? Summation dx minus 20. So minus 20 by number of observations are 8 here. So plus into minus gives you minus here. So 26 minus 20 by 8. If you find out, you will get again 23.5. So this is the shortcut method. Next we have step deviation method. For this method, we have to find out d prime of x. Formula for that is x minus a by, here we are using I. I means class interval, generally interval between the observations. That may be denoted with either I or C or H. Any notation, one notation you have to use, not all. Any one notation you can use. But every time you have to use the same notation. So either I or C or H. Any one notation you can use for denoting the class interval here. So here they have considered I as an interval. In the formulas, just to make you understand, I used C as a class interval. H also you can use. Now x minus a by h is a formula. Here h we have considered as 2. Already we have x minus a here, but generally they may ask either shortcut method or step deviation method. So better to find out x minus a by h only directly. So first value is 30 minus 26, which is 4 divided by 2, which gives you 2. Similarly 16 minus 26 is minus 10 divided by 2, which gives you minus 5, and so on. In this way you have to find out first d prime of x. After finding out d prime of x values, find out the total of that column. Here they got it as minus 10. Now let us substitute this value into our formula. Formula for step deviation method is x bar is equal to a plus summation t prime of x by n into I or into C, class interval simply. So a is 26, summation d prime x we got it as minus 10 divided by n is 8 into 2. If you solve this, again you are going to get the same answer, 23.5. Generally we use direct method and shortcut method for individual series. I hope this example is clear to you. Now let's move to arithmetic mean in case of discrete series, how to find out. Here are the formulas. First of all, in discrete method, how the data will be given to you. So before I told you what is an individual series. They're simply scores of the students. So we are not going to arrange the data, simply scores of the data. Here in this discrete series, we will do a little arrangement. So like if any observation is repeated, that will consider as the frequency of that observation. For suppose, here consider a simple example. Some 2, 3, 3, 4, 5 is repeated 3 times. Okay. Once again I am repeating 2, 3, 3. 3 is repeated twice, 4. Okay. How many observations finished? 4 observations finished. Now 5 is repeated 3 times. So there 3 more observations. Total observations are 7. How to arrange it in discrete form? Simply in first column we'll consider x values. That is 2, 3, 4 and 5. And in the next column we'll consider the frequencies. 2 is repeated only once, so under frequency you have to consider 1. 3 is repeated twice, no, under frequencies you have to consider 2. And 4 is repeated once, so under frequency 1. 5 is repeated 3 times, so under frequency 3. If you add all the frequency values, you have to get the number of observations here. Okay, I hope you all got this. So now let me explain you how to find out the arithmetic mean for discrete series by using these 3 methods. So first of all, we'll go with direct method. Just now I explained you what is discrete series. Data will be given in terms of frequencies and observations. So here is an example. Marks obtained 4, 8, 12, 16 and 20. These observations are x. We'll denote it with x. And number of students means frequencies. 6, 12. That means 4 marks, how many students got? 6 students got. 8 marks, how many students got? 12. So these are the frequencies here. After noting this in columns, you have to find out the product of f and x to find out the arithmetic mean. And then find the total of frequencies as well as fx column. And then substitute in the formula here. Formula for arithmetic mean in case of discrete series direct method is x bar is equal to summation fx by n. That's all. Here n is capital N and capital N is summation of the frequencies. Total of frequencies will give you capital N here. Here the total of fx, I got it as 756. Divide it with the total of frequencies, which is 60, and which gives you the arithmetic mean value. This is the direct method for finding out the arithmetic mean in case of discrete series. Now let us see in assumed mean method how to find out the arithmetic mean for discrete series. So here is the series given to you. These are the x values and these are the f values. Now instead of directly finding out the product of f and x, we will find out dx. Here dx is the same notation as before we used, it is x minus a. What is a here? Generally we will consider the middle values. Here the middle value is 50, right? So we are going to consider a as 50. Any value we can consider from the given data. X values, from x values you have to consider the a. So dx is equal to x minus a. 10 minus 50 minus 40, 20 minus 50 minus 30 and so on. In this way first you find out dx values and then find out the product of the second column and the third column, that is frequencies multiply with the dx. Then you will get the fourth column as you can see in the table. After finding out this product, find out the total of f dx, and the formula is very simple. X bar is equal to a plus summation f dx by n. Already we have a as 50 and summation f dx we got it as minus 200 divide with N is the total of frequencies. Before also I told you, find out the frequencies total to get capital N value. Next, 50 plus minus 200 by 27. Plus into minus will become minus here. So 50 minus 200 by 27, if you find out, you'll get the answer. So which is here 42.593. You can work out this problem. So I explained you the procedure. So values you can do practice this, and you can compare the answers here. So this is the shortcut method or assumed mean method for finding out the arithmetic mean. Next we have step deviation method. This is also very simple. First of all, what you have to remember here is formulas. If you remember formulas perfectly and which series is given in the data, that if you see carefully, then you can find out AM value very easily. So here x bar is equal to A plus summation f d prime x by n into class interval. Here class interval is either I or C or H. Here they considered I as a class interval. Okay. So now this is the example given here. X values are 4, 8, 12, 16, 20. You can observe the difference between the observations as 4. So we have to consider the class interval value as 4, which is I is equal to 4. Next, frequencies are given. Here we have to find out d prime of x. Before, in shortcut method we considered dx. Formula is x minus a. And what is d prime of x? While discussing about individual series, I gave you that formula. D prime of x is equal to x minus a by h or x minus a by I. X is here. Any value you can consider from this observations. Okay. And what is a here? A is assumed mean. Generally we consider the middle value, no? So here we are going to take a as 12. There is no rule that you have to consider that only. Any value from the observation you can consider to get the answer. So here a value you have to consider. After considering that, find out the d prime x. Formula is x minus a by I. First value of x is 4. So 4 minus 12 by I is 4. 4 minus 12, it is minus 8. Minus 8 by 4 you have to find. Minus 8 by 4 is minus 2. So in this way you have to find out all the d prime x values for every observation of x, and then you have to find out f d prime of x, that is multiply the second column and fourth column that you can see in the table. Second column and fourth column you have to multiply. You will be getting f d prime x values. After that, find out the total. Here they got the total as 9. So you also kindly work out this problem. X bar is equal to a plus summation f t prime x by n into I is the formula. A is already known to us, which is 12 plus, and we got the total of f d prime of x as 9, and we know the total of frequencies as 60. So n is equal to 60 into our class interval is 4. If you substitute this into the formula and if you solve it, you are going to get the answer, which is 12.6 here. So this is step deviation method for finding out the arithmetic mean. Next we have arithmetic mean in case of continuous series. So okay, now we understood what is individual series, what is discrete series. Now what is continuous series then? Continuous series means here you can observe the data will be given in terms of class intervals and frequencies. Here also we can use either of these three methods to find out the arithmetic mean. So let us see one by one. First of all, direct method. In direct method, here you can observe the data is given in terms of class intervals and frequencies. Okay. So here x bar formula is summation fm by n. Summation fm by capital N, or you can simply take the formula as summation fm by summation f. Here, first of all, whenever class intervals are given to you, you are supposed to find out the mid values. How to find out the mid values? This is very simple. Add the lower limit and upper limit values and then divide it with 2. That is, finding out the average of lower limit and upper limit will give you the midpoints. Here let me explain you. In case of first class, these are the classes given to you. So first class, if you consider how to find out the mid value, 10 plus 20 by 2. 10 plus 20 is 30. 30 by 2 is 15. So this is how you are supposed to find out the mid values. 20 plus 30 is 50. 50 divided by 2, which is 25. So like this, you have to find out mid values for all the classes and then find out the product of the frequencies and mid values, that is f into m. If you find out f into m, then you are going to get 15 into 4, which is 60, 25 into 7, which is 175, and so on. In this way, you find out fm values, find out the total, and then substitute in the formula. And the formula for direct method to find out arithmetic mean is x bar is equal to summation fm by capital N. So which is 3040 by 70. If you find out that, you'll get the answer here, which is 43.43. You can work out and see. You can compare your answers here with this. Next, we have assumed mean method. In this method, same again, class intervals, we have to convert it into mid values. First thing what you have to do here, in case of continuous series, is in all the 3 methods, we have to find out the mid values for the given data. After that, after finding out the mid values, see here, we have to find out dx. Before, we considered dx as x minus a, right? X value is already known to us. Here, dx formula is m minus a, that is mid values minus a. If you are considering the mid values as x, then no problem, you can consider dx as x minus a. There is no rule that you have to denote the mid values as m only. Okay, you can even consider it as x simply and take dx as the same formula, which is x minus a. Okay, and we are going to consider the middle value, right? But here you can observe 2 middle values are there. So either one you can consider, either 35 or 45, your wish. Any one value consider as A, assumed mean. Here they considered as 45. You try with 35. You'll get the same answer. Just be careful about the calculation part. For sure you'll get the same answer. Okay. Now dx is equal to mi minus a. First mi value is 15. 15 minus, what is our a value? 45. So 15 minus 45 is minus 30. Next 25 minus 45 is minus 20, and so on. In this way, first you are supposed to find out dx values and then multiply the frequencies with this dx values, f into dx, and find the totals of frequencies column and f dx column, and then substitute in the formula. And the formula for shortcut method or assumed mean method is a plus summation f dx by n. A is 45. Summation f dx minus 110 by n is frequencies total, which is 70. If you solve this, simplify this, you will get the answer as 43.43. So this is the shortcut method for finding out the arithmetic mean in case of continuous series. Next we have last method under this, step deviation method. So here a simple change, same mid values you'll find out, frequencies you'll keep as it is. Same example I took here for explaining this. So mi minus a by I or xi minus a by I. I is the interval. What is the interval here? Class interval. Observe the first class here. When you subtract the upper limit from the lower limit, then you'll get the class interval. Upper limit is 20 for the first class, and for the first class lower limit is 10. So 20 minus 10 is 10. Okay, if you find out this for any class, you are going to get the same class interval, which is 10. So I is equal to 10. A is 45 as we considered before. You can also consider 35. You can try with 35. Okay. So m minus a by I. 15 minus 45 by 10. First value, which is equal to minus 3. In the similar way, you can find out the remaining values and find out the f into d prime of x. That is, third column you have to multiply with the fourth column as given in the table. And then f d prime of x total you have to find. And then substitute all the values into the formula. X bar is equal to a plus summation f d prime of x by n into I is the formula. After solving this, again you are going to get the same answer. So this is how to find out the arithmetic mean in different series by using different methods. So next we'll also see what is weighted arithmetic mean then. Weighted arithmetic mean is a mean of a set of values wherein each value or measurement has a different weight or degree of importance. In that case, we use weighted arithmetic mean. Here is the formula for that, x w bar. Since it is weighted arithmetic mean, suffix we considered as w. And weights we are going to consider as wi's. So summation wi, xi are the given observations and the wi's are the corresponding weights of that observations. You can see that below here, whereas xw bar is the weighted mean and wi's are the allocated weighted values and xi's are the observed values. For this also, let us take one example. Here these are the values given here. Following are given the marks obtained and weights assigned to the subjects of a student. So we have to calculate the weighted arithmetic mean in this case. Marks are given 60, 65, 53, 50 and 40 in different subjects. Okay, and weights, for English what is weight, for Punjabi what is weight. So here weights are also given. First of all, you have to find out the product of marks and weights assigned to that and then find the total. Summation wx by summation w is the formula. So this is looking similar as direct method of discrete series to find out the arithmetic mean, right? But there we considered frequencies, but here we are considering the weights. That's it. So this is a simple example. Marks, weights. So that is observations multiply with weights. Wx you find out the total and find the ratio of that product total and divide it with weights total. Okay, which gives you the weighted arithmetic mean. So next we have combined arithmetic mean. Sometimes we have to find out combined arithmetic mean according to the data given for you. If the arithmetic mean and the number of observations of two or more related groups are known, then in such cases we have to calculate the combined arithmetic mean of that groups. So here are the formulas given for that. In case of two data sets, first formula n1 x1 bar plus n2 x2 bar by n1 plus n2. And the data will be given to you maybe in terms of the observations of two data sets or directly the means of two data sets and the number of observations in two data sets. And for three data sets, n1 x1 bar plus n2 x2 bar plus n3 x3 bar by n1 plus n2 plus n3 is the formula. And extended formula also you can observe for suppose k data sets are there. That k may be 2, 3, 4 and so on. So n1 x1 bar, n2 x2 bar, n3 x3 bar summations you have to find out till the number of data sets given to you. That is nk xk bar by the total of number of observations in each data set. That is n1 plus n2 plus n3 plus and so on plus nk. Here I took a small example. The mean marks of 60 students in section A is 40. Try to observe the example carefully. When the data is given like this, then we are supposed to find out the combined arithmetic mean. And the mean marks of 40 students in section B is 45. Find the combined mean of the 100 students in both sessions. Sometimes they may also find the mean. But here the data is given related to combined mean. Right? So we are supposed to find out the combined mean here. And the formula for this is n1 x1 bar plus n2 x2 bar by n1 plus n2. Why? Because only two data sets values are given here. And this is how to find out the combined arithmetic mean. So I hope all of you understood now various types of arithmetic means and how to find out the values of arithmetic means. The key to being happy is knowing you have the power to choose what to accept and what to let go. We'll continue with the next session. Thank you for watching.